Hello everybody, welcome to day 9 of our Advent Devotional. And so we hope you're enjoying these. We're enjoying these, aren't we, Happy Carol?
Yeah, we are.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. We're going to start with Matthew chapter 2. We're going to start reading at verse 7. It says, Then Herod, when he privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared. And he sent them to Bethlehem, saying, Go and search diligently for the young child. And when you have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also.
It's great, isn't it? I love the Christmas story. It's just so full of stuff that is relevant for today.
Drama.
I'll tell you what, if we were to make a movie in Hollywood, it would be full on, wouldn't it? With all this stuff, really. But I want to talk today about Herod's part in this, because I want to talk about how fear and insecurity can affect us today in God's purposes and plans. So what I mean by that is, so Herod was king. Was he king? Ruler. Mm-hmm. He was a ruler he was a ruler, and he was very insecure. You know, he was fearful that that the Messiah was coming to take away his rulership. He was very insecure in his position, and so when he heard about the wise men, like I said yesterday, I think the wise men would have been quite a spectacle to see, with all the entourage and the gifts they were bringing, and maybe they had musicians, I don't know, but I think it would have been a big procession, not just a couple of wise men.
And a harmonica.
Right? Not that there's anything wrong with the harmonica.
No.
I know a great harmonica player. But the thing was that Herod did not cooperate with God's plan. He actually actively set out to thwart God's plan. We know later on, don't we, that he ordered the death of hundreds and hundreds of babies to prevent this Messiah from taking his kingdom. And yet, he had as much opportunity. He said here, tell me when you find him so I can go and worship him. Now, Herod could have gone and worshipped Jesus. And I believe he would have been incredibly blessed to do that, don't you? I mean, if he had done that. But instead, his fear and his own insecurity caused him to cooperate with the devil's plan, if you like.
Well,
and
you've got these 3 wise men that have come along, and they're like, what are you doing in my town? And he's like, well, we've seen this massive star, which shows that there is a
Messiah,
a king, and not just a king, but a king of kings is to be born, all right, on your doorstep.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's gonna
unsettle anybody.
Unsettle him.
But I want to talk about. So I believe that he allowed his insecurity, and in doing so, he cooperated with the devil rather than cooperate with God's plan. It doesn't mean he was possessed or, those kind of things. But so often I think that in our lives, we can allow fear and insecurity to move us to cooperate with the devil's side of things. John 10:10 says this. It says, the thief comes to steal, to kill and destroy, but I, that's Jesus speaking, have come that they might have life, and life abundantly. And so the thing is, we have 2 choices in life. Our fear and insecurity can cause us to act in a way that is ungodly, and that doesn't allow God to move in our life as he wants to. Herod lied. He was conniving, and he was planning and plotting the destruction of Jesus. And thankfully, we don't have quite that serious an event to be insecure about. But we can be insecure in our own ways. And so today's thought really is about, in what areas do you cooperate with the devil's plan to steal, to kill and destroy from your life? Whether it's to steal your joy or your peace, or whether it's to take away things. When we cooperate with God, when we worship God in spirit and in truth, when we go and worship him, God is always faithful to us, isn't he? He's faithful to his promises. And so, we just want to make sure that we are not allowing fear and insecurity to drive us to behave in a way that is going to take us down a road we don't want to go down. Can you imagine what Herod thinks now, looking back? He's the man remembered for these things that he did. We remember the wise men for good things, and we don't really even know their names. And yet Herod, we know his name, we know who he was, we know by historical books, not just the Bible, that he was existing. And yet this is what we remember him for, his insecurity and his fear that drove him to try and eradicate the Messiah. So I think that's really encouraging to me, to remind me, you know, God is the one that promotes. God is the one that blesses us. God is the one that gives us favour, and not the things that we have to do to try and maintain those positions. When we stay humble before the Lord, when we keep Him as our focus of worship, then we don't have to be fearful, even if a new king is born.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. It's not only about you making sure that you don't do those things, but if, for instance, with Herod, he had, he was influenced. I think he was influenced by Satan to do these things, and because that's happening, we have an opportunity. The wise men could have said, "Yes, sir. As soon as we see him, we will let you know." But they were warned in a dream by the Lord. Another dream, not to go back and tell Herod, because if they'd have done that,
who knows what would have happened?
Jesus would have been killed.
Probably. Although God would have made a way, but
yeah, that wouldn't have happened. But you know,
the story would have been different.
The story would have been definitely different. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
So just an encouragement, really. Don't let your fear and insecurity take you from the path that God has intended for you. Trust God and worship Him, and I believe that you'll have good success in that.
Amen.
Thank you very much. We'll see you for
tomorrow.
day 10 tomorrow. The countdown to Christmas is speeding along. I hope you bought your turkey, if you're having turkey.
And your stuffing.
Don't forget the cranberry sauce. We'll see you tomorrow.